I can't follow that kind of humor, Hallie, sorry. I would like to share with you a quote that sums up how I feel about retiring. This is from Pericles, the Greek politician, general, and statesman. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. I am retiring from Francis Lewis High School after 23 years. Francis Lewis has always had a special place in my heart since my husband Mark and a few very good friends graduated from Lewis in the early 70s. I leave with no regrets. I am ready to pass my educational torch on to the next generation of teachers. I have had the pleasure of working with an idealistic, bright, sensitive, creative, classy, aware, and funny group of newer teachers. I feel they will do whatever they can to ensure our ISS students will grow to have faith in themselves and become self-sufficient and productive adults. I have had several supervisors to thank for aiding me in my growth as an educator. I thank my former supervisors in the Bronx District 12, Ira Scher and David Kellerman. They both encouraged me, mentored me, and showed faith in me as both an educator and a person. David gave me a great deal of responsibility, giving me a few $1,000s to buy appropriate textbooks for our middle school special ed math program, and giving me opportunities to participate in staff development programs in downtown Manhattan. At Francis Lewis, I must thank Bill Stoffey, who appreciated how I taught English. He obtained 2 special grant programs that my English classes and I participated in. One was a writing program where a very hip Manhattan-based writer came to my classroom and shared his ideas, methods, and tools for more effective writing of all kinds. That learning has remained with me and allowed me to help resource room students who voiced a need for help with writing. Another very creative program was a playwriting program through the Theater for a New City. This program culminated in a short play written by one of my students, which was showcased and presented at the Borough of Manhattan Community College. I still remember that student, a quietly creative and introspective young man, Ronnie Lazzanaro. I thank Shelley Dorr for being an interminable source of faith in my teaching, along with her unremitting sense of humor. I will never forget when she walked into my classroom and walked in on a lesson on compound probability using the word "and." The class was in a circle engaged in playing the 3-dice street gambling game of CeeLo, without the money, of course. She was immediately hysterical with laughter at my unorthodox but effective hands-on method of teaching this concept. I thank my subsequent supervisors, Carol Barnes and Andrea Scalavino, for knowing that I was constantly engaging my kids, constantly retooling and recalibrating my approaches depending upon my audience. I have, as a consequence of working at Lewis, gained some amazing and lifelong friendships. If it weren't for my coming to work here, there are a lot of people who I would otherwise not have had the opportunity to meet and get to know and then spend time with them outside of school. Many of them are here tonight, and you all know who you are. I would rather mention you as a group and avoid leaving out someone. I also would like to acknowledge my other friends who are here tonight from other schools and from the neighborhood. I'm looking forward to more breakfasts, lunches, dinners, plays, operas, ballets, concerts, lectures, museum visits, and mahjong classes, shared with my several retirement friends, and get-togethers with those still working on Friday nights or Saturday evenings. If it weren't for Francis Lewis, I would never have had the opportunity to have many of you in my life. I thank my family, especially my husband Mark, for always being there for me, sympathetic to me when I was stressed from this job. He patiently watched me as I gave up many Sundays, often starting at 3 in the afternoon, as I went to work planning, creating my own materials, grading, composing exams, fulfilling my thesis IEP obligations, and calling parents. Thank you all, friends and colleagues, for being here tonight. I admire so many of you, and it is an honor to share this evening with you. Because of my status as a resource room teacher, I was able to collaborate with many of you about shared students. I will mention one name, Carol Giambavo. You are in a class by yourself. You are in a class by yourself, incorporating music and singing into